guys, this is James from Team Calamity, and today I am doing a deck profile with Sam. He's showing us water ice control. So whenever you're ready, Sam, just take it away.
Okay, so the first thing we've got when we're doing our forwards is 3 of the 1-drop snows. Originally I didn't play any and I really overlooked this card, but being able to dull anything, especially at the start of the game, is really handy. Once you start pairing that up with Shivers, so you get 2 frozen, again, brilliant. But another thing, it also deals with Zidane, which, let's be honest, is a big problem against anything control. So yeah, it's just really handy and a great starter. Next up, slightly different choice, but we've got 2 Gordons. The reason I'm running Gordons is that not only does it deal with Zidane's, but you can also use it to block anything higher with the tap ability. So if something massive like a Tidus is swinging at you, or a boosted whacker, you can throw it in front of it, tap to take no damage and just stop it attacking. It's a great wall effect, and being a 2-drop, it's handy to get out as quick as possible. So nice and easy. So, an obvious choice when playing Ice, we of course have 3 of the legendary squalls. There is literally no reason not to play this card. I genuinely feel this is one of the best cards in Ice. It is absolutely phenomenal. Being able to throw 6k on anything is just amazing. Say you're playing like a Golbez deck. They break it, well, straight away Squall deals with half the board. Block something, blow something up. You can even block something and blow that up so you take no damage and just keep doing it. It's really silly. And then you get to the ability, which makes it even, well, words can't say anything really. Being able to give it first strike, so you can then go 6k and then finish off with 6k first strike, you can take down 12k without taking anything. It's amazing. Obviously you've got to watch out for your Minwus, but aside from that, there's very little that's going to stop it. It's really great. So, here, we run a bit of a strange spread. I run 3 3-drop terrors, but I also run 3 of the 4-drop. This is really heavy. A lot of people don't run this split. Most people have been favouring the 3-drop terror. I genuinely think the 4-drop terror is a lot better in most matchups. It's a real surprise factor when you can throw it onto the board and double it up before doing the damage. So that's instantly 8k to 2 forwards. That's going to take out most of your opponent's stuff. Obviously, there's going to be times where it's bigger. This is why I run so many. If you throw one out and then go double, you're doubling the double. So straight away, that's 16k to 2 doubled forwards. That is pretty much anything in the game. Like, there's very few things I can think of that's going to stop that.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
And again, you can double the double if you really want to go ham and just absolutely annoy your opponent for fun. It's great. The 3-drop, however, is still very playable. Being able to boost up to 9k with first strike is really handy. Making your opponent's summon one more expensive is a real changer in some decks. Being able to make a Leviathan a 4, what other summons are really used at the moment?
In all fairness, the fact that it counteracts Yuna's reduction in cost is pretty relevant as well, because it just nullifies any boost that the 2-drop Yuna backup gives and just makes that Leviathan go back to a 3-drop. Exactly. It's enough of a pain.
Yeah, so straight away that's really good. But on top of that, if you're running like a Dukelag, which obviously we'll get to in the backups, that's a 10k with first strike. That isn't something that you can take lightly, and for only 3 crystals, it's a bit silly. That's why I'm running the 6 line. Again, this is preference. It is slightly heavy, but being able to discard for crystals without worrying is also very handy. So, yes, that's my line.
And making your opponent's legendary Bahamut cost 10 is always a laugh.
Yeah. So, we run one of the 4-drop Lagunas. I only run one because I do run the legendaries, which we'll get to In fact, we'll do that now. I run 2 of the 5-drop Lagunas. Again, this is a personal preference split. I've tried 2 of the 4-drop, 1 of the 5-drop. I've tried 3 of the 5-drop and none of the 4, and again 3 of the 4-drop, none of the 5-drop. Again, this is purely preference. Everyone's going to play this split slightly differently. The 4-drop is really handy when you have snow on board. As soon as, sorry, not snow, squall. When squall's on board, he straight away goes to 10k, but you also dull and freeze an opponent rather than just dull. So that effect is really, really relevant. But it's not good enough that you're going to run a different split to me. Personally, due to most matchups, I prefer a 2-split of the 5-drop. Being able to threaten 7k to a dull when it attacks, to me, is more relevant than being able to dull and freeze and have a 10k. Especially when you've got Duke Guard on the board, then this is a 10k anyway. Granted, this becomes 11, but then your swings and roundabouts. It's personal preference. The 9k to a dull is something that can really surprise opponents. It's funny how many people don't play around the 5-drop Laguna. So yeah, it's really handy. And that's my split. Okay, so a slightly different choice when it comes to ice water. Yeah, Whacker. What can we say about Whacker?
What can't we say about Whacker?
Whacker is stupid. Whacker is, to me, I rate this as top 5 in the game. I genuinely think Whacker is just, it's unbelievable. Why this isn't a legendary and is a starter, I will never understand. So, for 4-drop you get an 8k. Okay, that's nothing to scream home about. It's good, but it's not great. Being able to boost either yourself or one of your forwards when you're attacking is amazing in its own right. Including the fact that it includes itself as well within that boost, I just don't understand. That is silly. That isn't the thing that breaks this card. That makes this card very playable by itself. The thing that makes this card absolutely broken is status reels. I can't describe the amount of times status reels has saved me. Like, swing and a Prish blocks, oh no, status reel, it's now 1k, or well, with the boost, 5k. But still, it's irrelevant, even a squall blows it up. They've got a Emperor on board, doesn't matter anymore, status reel, stop the effect. Golbez, stop the effect. It is absolutely ridiculous, and it's only a starter. If you don't have this card, go get it now, because at some point you're going to be playing this card. But yeah, a lot of people aren't running this in water ice, and I really don't understand why. I can't praise this card enough. As I said, within my top 5 cards of all time, it is that strong. So, we have the star of the show. Of course, we have 3 Ultimecias. Recently, and there is a reason for this, I've been thinking of dropping it to 2. With Opus 2 coming out, and we have a way to search for Ultimecia, that is a way we can drop it down. The ability is good, but because it doesn't dull as well as freeze, it's not great in my eyes. It's very, very strong, but it's not something you're going to be just throwing out. The way I play time compression is when I pass turn, I then time compress. That completely stops their attacks. So if I don't have a way of freezing, it's like a pseudo freeze. They then have to really commit to an attack, knowing that they're going to be frozen because of it. And for me, that is the best way of playing it. Obviously, if it's, you know, it's an aggro, let's go ham, let's go crazy, then yeah, throw out Ultimecia, time compress and laugh in their face. That's what you get for playing aggro. But aside from that, the ability's not great. The reason I'm running 3 at the moment is because we don't have a way to tune it into our hands. It's purely for consistency of drawing. She is phenomenal though. Like, putting the ability aside, forcing your opponents to come in dull is just absolutely amazing. You can really set up your times when it comes to blocking with this. So once things are coming in dull, you can then really plan ahead. Aside from that though, yeah, it's a 9k for 5. It's great. Definitely. Top of the deck. Okay, so these are my tech cards. These are something that I've played so much with that I'm still deciding. But I'm only running one Cloud of Darkness. Usually, most people will run 2. And I can completely understand why. Obviously, if this goes to your discard, you've got no comeback factor. If they spam out and you don't have your wall set up, then you're going to have a bad time. The reason I'm only running 1 is because my other card is a 8-drop Sephiroth. So the reason I swapped out my second Cloud for the Sephiroth is for 2 backups. Even like, don't get me wrong, if you blow up a Minwu, then that's great because, you know, everyone hates Minwu and loves to blow them up. But for me personally, playing Ice Water, the real things that really shut you down is Aerith and Maria. The reason is, Maria's going to put stuff just out of range of Squall. You're not going to be able to block certain cards, you're not going to be able to trade favourably, and it's just a pain. So blowing up a Maria, I feel better than blowing up a Minwu. The other one though is Aerith. Oh my god, that card is broken. That to me is better than Light Cloud, and yeah, I'm going to get a lot of crappy comments for that, and I understand, but to me, Aerith is the best card in the game. To be able to go, I untap everything with Planet Protector, on top of that, stop the abilities, that is just silly. So that gets around all your freezes, all your dolls, gets around your Squall, gets around your Snow, literally everything it gets around, other than of course Cloud of Darkness. So blowing up an Aerith to me is just, it feels so good. So yeah, so that's why I swapped from the Cloud of Darkness, 2 Cloud of Darkness, sorry, to 1 Cloud and 1 Sephiroth. Personal preference, but you're not going to play this every game, but the games that you do play, it's going to matter. So that's why to me it's you know, the techs I go for. That is all the forwards. So we're now going to move on to the summons. So my summons, okay, these are very straightforward, I'm not going to lie. We of course are running 3 Shivas. You have to run Shivas. Dulling and freezing is the aim of the game. You're always going to freeze stuff. There is never a point when you don't want this in your hand. Don't get me wrong, there's been times where I've discarded it for crystals and it hurts, like it really hurts to discard these. But we do run 3. Yeah, you have to run 3, there's no doubt about it. It also combos with the snows, so you can freeze something, don't want to freeze the other with the snow, so you get 2 freezes for the price of 1. Yeah, great cards, there's not much to say about it. We run 3 Leviathans. Again, this is a must, being able to bounce them back to the hand. Say someone on turn 1 or even 2 plays a Light Cloud, then straight away you just bounce it back into their hand. There's not much really more to say, it's purely a bounce thing. If they overpay for something as well and then you bounce it back, you're laughing. If they have a 5-drop on board or higher and they have nothing in hand, you know you're pretty much getting that into their hand, and it's going to take them a turn or 2 to fry it back out onto the board. So yeah, it's a must for 3. So here is my change. Usually people are running Moogles for draw. I really don't agree with that in this style of deck. There are some combos in it. Obviously you want Whackers for status reels, you want Terrors for doubling up, but realistically there's not much you're searching for with the Moogle. So I actually prefer running 3 fairies rather than some sort of mixed split or even free Moogles, which I've tried for a while. Being able to untap something is really, really handy on a defense point. So even if you like say you throw out your ultimate, you time compression, you freeze your own board. You can then go fairy in response, bring your stuff back out of freeze. It's really great. Also, EX triggers is, you know, a free card off an EX trigger is brilliant. So, yeah, that's why I'm running the fairies over the Moogles.
Yes, card I rate as well.
Yeah, it's great. So, last, we have the backups. So, I'm going to do the water backups first. So, of course, we run the 2-drop unit. Yeah, makes you Leviathan cheaper, makes you fairy at 1 cost. Brilliant card. Being a 2-drop as well, it's something you can get out on turn 1. And even if you don't use the ability all game, which I am sure you will, just having something that you can throw out on turn 1 and use for crystals is brilliant. I love running loads of 2-drop backups. I really rate them. But yeah, great card. Next, this was actually recommended to me by James, and yeah, I have to admit I really overlooked this card originally. I didn't understand it. I thought, what's the point? And then you realise when to use it, and this card becomes absolutely incredible. It is really good. There'll be times where I would have 2 Geos out on board instead of like a Minwu or something, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. But when you're going up like against a control or something, then your power levels are roughly the same, and the Minwu doesn't make that much difference. But a Geo, say they swing at you, you Geo, take off the top, it's not an EX, put it on the bottom, try again. At the end of their turn, let's Geo, see what we're going to get. If we need it for a combo, we keep it. If it's something like, I don't know, say you got a Una out on board and it's another Una, we don't need it anymore, put it on the bottom, try again for something better. It's a really great card. I run 3 purely for consistency. Again, being a 2-drop, it's something I can throw out as quick as possible and use for crystals if I need to. Most of the time though, I don't, and I save it for the ability because the ability is really great. James, do you have anything extra to say about Geos?
You've pretty much covered it. If you're using water, you have to use this card.
Yeah, it's great. So another card that you have to use if you're using water is of course Minwu. I'm only running 2. Yep, shock, horror, 2 Minwus, not 3. Originally, people said this is, you know, this is the best card in game. It is great. It really is. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not the best card. 3-drop, yeah. I mean, we can get them out quick, but we can't get them out first time without overpaying. And certain matchups, it's irrelevant. So I'm only running this 2 split. It's painful if they both go to your damage zone, but yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, now for the ices. Let's do the most obvious one first, which is of course Jill Nabet. Wow, this card is broken in my eyes. Again, I put this within the top 5 cards in the game, which is crazy. Being a 2-drop backup, but being able to freeze 2 gold cards is just silly. Being able to do it off an EX trigger is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why it's an EX, but I'm really happy it is. The ability is really handy. There'll be times where you'll be, like, my average play is Time Mage, which is another backup I'll get into in a moment, plus Jill Nabet, and obviously tap Jill to pay for Time Mage, tap Time Mage, stop something from attacking. That is your basic turn. But there'll be a time where you'll draw the next Jill Nabet, and then instead you can tap the Time Mage, tap the Jill Nabet, discard, and then freeze it instead. It's really, really handy. Obviously, if you've got more ice out, then you can stop something from attacking and freeze something else, which is even more walling. And that's pretty much what this deck's about. It's just putting up a wall that, just to be honest, annoys your opponent. It's a really annoying deck, I'm not gonna lie. It's freeze and dull. So yeah, phenomenal card. If you're running ice, just run 3 of them. Go get them now. I really rate this card. Top 5, easy. Okay, so again with ice, you run 3 Time Mage. Yeah, 3 is purely for consistency. It's very rare you'll have all 3 out on board, because you'll get to a point where you can't physically pay for them, especially if you've got like your Minwu out, some Geos out, a Una out. It gets a bit expensive. But you want minimum of one on board at all times. Being able to stop something from attacking is brilliant, especially if it's something that you know you can just push over with your forwards. So that way you can stop something small from attacking, and then when you swing, if they're at a vital point where they can't really take much more damage, you're going to get like favourable trades all day long. Really handy. Obviously there is other effects, so say there's a Tidus that's about to go ham to your face. Time Mage. Well, they've just, you know, they've wasted their ability. It's fine. Yeah, Time Mage. Run free. Brilliant. So the last cards, of course, are Duke Lards. 1,000 to all your ice. Yeah, brilliant. I would run one for water if it wasn't a whacker, and we all know how silly whacker is. I only run 2 because they are a bit hefty. Being a free drop, obviously you can understand why, but yeah, 2 is plenty for consistency. Mostly due to the fact that we're running so many good backups with good effects that even if we don't get this, it's not too bad. Because obviously your Time Mage is just stopping stuff, your Minwu is kind of, you know, stopping the smaller stuff. It's one of those cards that in certain matchups, you're going to aim to get it onto the board as soon as possible. But in other matchups, if you get it, it's a win more card than a I will win card.
Yes, especially useful in the Ice Mirror when you're both staring down legendary squalls. Your squall will be able to survive, whereas their squall won't, because yours is now 7,000 power. It's extremely relevant in that matchup.
Exactly. So yeah, as I said, I only run 2. You can run 3 purely for consistency. I did run that for quite some time. But I found that I always managed to get into my hand at some point that it wasn't needed, and 2 is plenty. So yeah, that is the last card. I don't really know what else to say. If you're playing it, you're just going to be dulling and freezing non-stop. The big surprise of the deck was the whackers. They are just, they're so broken. I can't stress how silly that card is. And of course, your squalls and your ultimeteors, they're core to this deck. Try it out. I really enjoy playing this deck. It's really fun being able to just stop anything they throw down. So, you know, there'll be times where like there's a Prish, there's a like out staring you in the face, and yeah, it's gonna kill your forwards. Just freeze it. Doesn't matter anymore. Just ignore it. You don't have to break their forwards to win. You just have to hit them in the face. So, yeah, dull, freeze, and annoy. That is everything about this deck. So, try it out. Let us know what you think in the comments and all that jazz.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Sam. Just remember to like and subscribe to the video. We've got plenty more deck profiles and plenty of matches coming up. So, yeah, stay tuned.